Hi everyone, myself Suresh, lecturer in mechanical engineering. I am going to deal with a subject called basic workshop technology. So, from that subject, I chosen a topic called carpentry. So, in previous class, we discussed about some of the different types of carpentry tools along with the definition of carpentry and marking and measuring tools used in carpentry and also cutting tools used in carpentry. Okay, so today we are going to learn about what are the tools we are using for boring operation. Okay, that is what are boring tools. So next, types of boring tools. Next, specifications of boring tools. So these are going to discuss today. Okay, and also uses of boring tools. Okay, right. Firstly, what is a boring tool? Okay, so these are used for making holes in wood. Okay, so where we are using these boring tools? So these boring tools are used for making holes in wooden workpieces. Okay, next, so now you can see the types of boring tools. So first one is bradle. Okay, next, second, gimlet, third, brace, fourth, auger, next, fifth, bits, drills. Okay, so all these are the different types of boring tools which are used in carpentry. So now we can discuss about the first one, that is bradle. So here we can see the diagram of a bradle. Okay, right. So now we can see the usage of the bradle. So this boring tool, that is bradle, is used for boring small holes. Okay, this bradle is used for boring small holes in soft wood. Okay, so to introduce screws and nails. Okay, now, so I understood. So this is used for boring small holes in soft wood. So to introduce the screws and nails. Okay, next, so it has a chisel like point. If you observe the figure here at the bottom of the figure, you can see, so this part is called chisel like point. Okay, so it looks like a chisel edge. Okay, next, so there will be a this is a hand operated boring tool. Okay, so next, so I will explain this one. So by using this one, so we can make a small holes in the soft wooden workpieces, and this is operated by the directly with our hand. So we are not using any machines for this type of boring tools. Next one is a gimlet. Okay, we can also call it as gimlet or gimlet. So we can see here, this is a diagram of a gimlet. Okay, so this is used for making small holes for screws. Okay, so previous one, so that is used for, you can see here, so this bradle is used for introducing screws and nails, but so this gimlet is used for to introduce the screws. Okay, so these are used for making small holes for screws. Next, so it is also a hand operated boring tool. Okay, so this is also a hand operated boring tool. So if the bottom of this gimlet, we can observe the figure here, So there are some flutes here. Okay, it looks like a point. Okay, so these are called spiral flutes. So we can say, so this gimlet has a spiral flutes with like a point. Okay, next third one is brace. So this brace is used for making holes on workpieces. Okay, so this is used for making holes on the wooden workpieces. Okay, and this can be holes. So this brace is which holds and rotates various bits for making holes. Suppose if you want to make small holes, so at that time, so we are if you want to operate this brace, so how you have to operate this brace? So by manually, that is, it is a hand operated system. So it is a hand operated boring tool. So just we have to hold the brace, okay, and rotate the brace handle, okay, so that the bit, whatever the bit is which is inserted into the clamp, okay, so that bit will rotates and makes hole. Next, so this will be a commonly used brace. Okay, so this is a common used brace, and we have different types of braces you can see here. So first one is a ratchet brace, wheel brace. Okay, so this is a diagram of a ratchet brace. If you observe the figure, so we know the different types of parts, different parts of the ratchet brace. Okay, so if you see here from the bottom, so jaws, chuck, ratchet, cam ring, handle, crank, and head. Okay, and there is another part called sweep. Okay, that is just below the crank. Now we can see the usage of this ratchet brace. So this ratchet brace is used for making large holes. Okay, if you want to produce large holes, so we can use this type of brace. So it is a hand operated boring tool. Okay, so handle is fitted with bearings on crank. So if you observe here, there is a crank here. So on this crank, the handle is fitted with some bearings. Next, at the bottom of the crank, you can see here, just observe the figure. At the bottom of the crank, a chuck is provided. Okay, at the bottom of the crank, chuck is provided. Next, chuck has jaws to hold the bit. So what is the purpose of this chuck? So this chuck holds the jaws. Okay, so these jaws which holds the different types of bits. Next, so ratchet is positioned above the chuck. Okay, this ratchet is positioned just above the chuck. Next, ratchet helps to rotate the bit in one direction. So what is the purpose of this ratchet? So this ratchet which helps to rotate the bit, okay, in one direction, and this can be used in confined space. Okay, this ratchet brace is used in a confined space. So this is specified by diameter of sweep. Okay, so by holding the crank handle, so we can rotate the handle, that is crank handle, so that we can get some imaginary circle, that is sweeping. Okay, that is the diameter of sweep. Okay, next we can see the diagram here. So this will be the actual diagram of ratchet brace. Okay, chuck, just bottom of the chuck, so there are some jaws, okay, which holds the bits, and there will be a handle, frame. Okay, frame is nothing but a crank. Okay, and also head. Okay, this is the ratchet brace. Next we can see the wheel brace. Okay, this is the diagram of a wheel brace. If you observe the figure, so here we have an extra part, that is extra an alignment, that is gear. So previous one we have a chucks, here also there is a chuck, jaws similar, handle similar. Okay, right. So this wheel brace is used for making small holes with drills. So in previous case, so we used bits, so here we are using some drills. So if you want to make small holes, so we can use this wheel brace. So the parts are handle, gear wheel, wheel handle, chuck and jaws. So here we have handle, wheel handle, gear wheel, chuck and jaws. So the jaws are jaws of chuck holds the round and parallel shank drills. So what is the purpose of these jaws? So these jaws which holds the round, that is round and parallel shank drills. So whatever the shank we have for the drill bits, so those should be round and parallel, they should not be tapered. Okay, so drills are rotated by operating the crank. So by operating the crank, so we can rotate the drills to make holes. So here we can see the diagram of wheel brace. Okay, next auger. Okay, this is the diagram of a auger. So the main parts are handle and screw point. Okay, next we can see here. So this auger is used for producing or providing long deep holes. So what is the purpose of this auger? This is used for providing, okay, long deep holes of 6 mm to 40 mm. If you want to produce long deep holes, so we can prefer for the augers. Okay, so it consists of a steel bar. So this auger consists of steel bar. Okay, so lower part of the steel bar has cylindrical augers or flutes. Okay, if you observe the here, so the lower part of the bar, so what is there? So here we have a flutes. Okay, and at the bottom of the flutes, so there is a screw point. Okay, screw point is provided. Next, the screw point acts as pivot and helps in centering. Okay, so that is the purpose of auger. And also the upper parts of the bar is left plane. Top end forged into eye through wooden handle. So whatever the steel bar is there, the steel bar topper end is forged into the eye of the, okay, wooden handle. Next, the handle is held in both hands. Okay, so we can hold the handle with both the hands, rotated, pressing downwards. Okay. Next topic is bits. So what are bits? What is the use of bits? We learn here. Okay. So bits are used with brace, so to make holes on woodwork. Okay, if you want to make some holes on woodwork, wood piece, so we can prefer for bits. Okay, small holes, if you want to produce small holes, we can use bits with brace. So we can see the types of bits here: shell bit, Frostner bit, countersink bit, expansion bit, center bit, drill bit, okay, and reamer bit. Okay, so now we can see here. So individually, so we will discuss here. That the first one is shell bit. Okay, look at the figure here. This is the diagram of a shell bit. Okay, so this shell bit is used for boring holes. So what is the purpose of this shell bit? It is used for boring holes. So where accuracy and finishing of holes are not important. Okay, so wherever we are not considering the accuracy and finishing of holes is not important, so then we will prefer for shell bit. Next, holes can be made up to 12 diameter. So we can make an holes up to 12 diameter. Okay, so next one is Frostner bit. So look at the figure here. This is the diagram of a Frostner bit. So this bit is used to cut very clean holes. So what is the purpose of this bit, this type of bit? So this is used to cut very clean holes. So it is useful for blind holes and partial holes. Okay, next, so this bit is provided with small locating point and a circular rim to guide the bit. So what are providing for this fastener bit? A small locating point and also a circular rim to guide the bit. Next, this can be used for making holes of 10 to 30 diameter. Suppose if you want to produce a hole of 10 to 30 diameter, so we can prefer for the fastener bit. Next one is countersink bit. Countersink bit. So this is also known as a rose bit. Rose bit. So this countersink bit is used for countersinking. So previously drilled holes to insert counter sunk heads of wood screws. Okay, so that is the purpose of countersink bit. It consists of a long steel bar. Okay, so bottom of the bar is conical and provided with the cutting edges. Okay, next one is expansion bit. We can see the diagram here. This is a diagram of a expansion bit. Okay, right. So this expansion bit is used for boring shallow holes. Okay, so if you want to produce shallow holes, so we can prefer for the which type of bits? expansion bits. Next, this can be adjustable. There is the adjustable cutter is provided for this type of bits. So holes can made from 13 mm to 125 mm. Okay, so that will be the whole range. Okay, we can produce. So these are available in 4 sizes. Expansion bits can be available in 4 sizes with interchangeable cutters. Okay, so next is center bit. If you look at the figure here, so this we know this will be a center bit. So the center bit is suitable for boring shallow holes across the grains. Okay, next at the bottom, okay, at bottom which carries screw point. So at the bottom, okay, so it carries a screw point, a cutting edge and a sprue. Okay, next, so cutting edge does the primary cutting. Okay, here we have 3 different parts. So they are screw point, cutting edge and a sprue. So what is the purpose of this cutting edge? So it does the primary cutting. Okay, next, sprue helps in cleaning the holes. So whatever the metal is removed by cutting edge, so that metal is flush it away and clean the holes. Okay, next, deep holes cannot be drilled as it has no flutes to carry swarf. Okay, so due to the non availability of flutes, okay, so we are not able to make deeper holes. Okay, next, so this is a drill bit. We can see the nomenclature here. Okay, so drill bit is used for boring clean holes in hardwood. Okay, so this drill bit is used for boring clean holes in hardwood. Next, so this will be provided with twisted flutes. So this drill bit is having a twisted flutes and 2 cutting lips, that is at the bottom, that is edges. At the bottom of this drill bit, so it is having 2 cutting lips, they are called edges. Okay, next one is reamer bit. So it is a square tapered body. It has a square tapered body and it is used for enlarging the existing holes to the required size, to the desired size. Okay, so we can prefer for reamer bit. Next we have different types of tools, that is next we have another tools. So they are striking tools. So we can see here, so these are the striking tools. Right, first we know the requirement of necessity of striking tools. So the striking or hitting is required for various woodworking tools like chisels, nails, from top to drive into the wood. Okay, so what is the purpose of this striking tools? So it is used for striking the various woodworking tools. So they are like chisels, nails. Okay, next, so the striking tools are required for assembling of different parts. Okay, and also, so the tools are used for this purpose are known as striking tools. Whatever the tools we are using to give a blow on the chisels and nails, So those tools are known as striking tools or hitting tools, and also we can also called as what tools? Striking tools or blowing tools. Next, the most commonly used striking tools in carpentry are hand hammers, mallets. Okay, so now we can see the types of hammers and also what is a hammer. We can see here. So you can observe the diagram here. So this is a diagram of a hammer. Okay, this type of hammers are called as claw hammers. Okay, so we can go through the parts here. So first one is handle, that is a wooden handle, and eye. Okay, so we will insert the wooden handle into the eye. Next, claw, cheek, head, throat, face, and neck. So these are the parts of hammer for claw hammers, curved claw hammers. Next, so these hammers are light and small. Okay, so they are primarily used for driving the nails into the wooden workpieces. Okay, now we can see the parts again. Handle is made of wood. Head, so this head is made up of steel. And striking face, there is a striking face here. Okay, now we can see the different types of hammers. So first one is Warrington hammer, second claw hammer, third one is mallet or wooden hammer. Okay, first we will discuss about the Warrington hammer. Okay, we can observe the figure here. So the handle is made up of wood. Okay, and there is a head and face. So this will be made up of steel. Okay, hardened steel. Right. So this is mostly used for bench work and light works. So these Warrington hammers are used for bench works and light works. So head is made up of a cast steel. Okay, next one side of head is having a face, and another side there will be a pin, ball pin. Okay, next wooden handle is fits into the eye of head. Okay, next steel wedge is inserted into the eye to form a rigid joint. If the handle is not exactly aligned into the eye of head, so if you want to make an rigid joint, so we have to insert a steel wedge or some wood wedges, so that we can make a rigid joint of handle with head. Next, so the size of the hammers is designated by weight of hammer's head. So based on the weight of the hammer's head, so we can designate the size of the hammer. Next, we can see the type of claw hammer. So this is a diagram of a claw hammer. We can see here. So here we have different parts. Okay, so claw, eye, cheek, face, and handle. Okay, this is the diagram of claw hammer. So the head is made of cast steel. Okay, the claw hammer's head is made of a cast steel, so which carries a striking face at one end. Okay, this head carries a striking face at one end, and the other end, so there will be a, so it carries a claw. Okay, next, so striking face is used to drive nails and other striking works. Okay, the purpose of this striking face is to drive the nails into the wooden pieces and also and other striking works. So we can use this side, that is striking face, striking face, not force here. So it is mentioned as force, it is not a force. Okay, it is a face. Next, claw is used for removing nails out. Okay, so after driving the nails into the wooden pieces. Okay, if there will be any some error or some deviations occurred, or after completing the jobs, if we want to remove, that is remove the nails, so we are preferring for the claw hammer, so that by using that claw we can remove the nails out. Next, we can see here, so wooden handle is fitted into the eye. Okay, next, so wedge is inserted into the eye to form a rigid joint. So as in the case of Warrington hammer, so what you have done there, also we have inserted a wedge to make a firm joint. So here also, so we can use wedge, either that is steel or wood. Okay, just we have to insert the wedge into the eye, so to form a rigid joint. Okay, next, the size of hammer is designated by weight of the hammer. Okay, so how we are designating the size of the hammer? So based on the weight of the hammer. Okay, we are designating the size of the hammer. Okay, so it varies from 0.25 kg. Okay, so what is the weight? So weight of this hammer, so which ranges from 0.25 kg to 0.75 kg, that will be the weight of the claw hammers. This will be the range. Next is mallet. Okay, or we can also call it as wooden hammer. Okay, so here we can see two different wooden hammers. Okay, the faces are different, and also the inserting of the handles are different into the eye. Next, we can see here, head is made of hard wood. Okay, for this type of mallets, so here we are using a hardwood to made head. Next, striking face is flat. So how will be the striking face? So it will be flat. Okay, so it is rectangular or round in shape. The faces should be in rectangular or in round in shape. Okay, next, which provided with wooden handle. So this mallet is provided with an wooden handle, so used for striking the cutting tools like chisels and gouges. Okay, so we are using this mallet, or we can simply say that if we want to give a soft blow, okay, so we can prefer for the mallets. Okay, so next is holding tools. Okay, so next to tools are holding tools. We can see here, the tools or devices used to hold and support the work during various operations like cutting, marking, finishing, etc., are known as holding tools or holding devices. Okay, so whatever the tools we are using while doing some operations, okay, so those tools are should holds the workpiece. Okay, those tools are called as holding devices or holding tools. Next we can see the types of holding tools. Types of holding tools. So first one is work bench. Second, bench vise, or we can also called as woodworkers vise. Next, bench hook, bench stop, bench hold fast, sash cramp, C cramp. Okay, all these are the different types of holding tools. So in brief, so we discuss here. Okay, so this is a diagram of a workbench. Okay, already we have seen our workshops. Okay, so here we can also observe the some of the parts, some of the what's that called, tools on this workbench. You can see here. So there is a vise here, that is a bench vise, apron, bench hook, so, and there will be a bench stop, swivel rest for planes, and well. Okay, so these are the different, okay, workbench tools, or we can simply say that, so these holding tools are assembled on the workbench. Okay, next we can see here. So this will be a basic supporting device. Okay, this will be a basic supporting device. So this is a heavy table. Okay, next, this heavy table is made of hard wood. So four carpentry vices are fitted on both sides of bench, and two holes jobs for operations. So on this workbench, so we can fix four carpentry vices. Okay, on both the sides. Okay, so to perform the various operations within the four carpentry vices. Okay, next, so racks or shelves, that is shelves, racks or shelves are provided to keep tools. Okay, next, other accessories, so provided on bench, that is bench stop, bench hook, swivel rest for length of bench. Okay, so what is the length of the bench? Length of the bench is about 1.5 to 1.8 meters. Okay, that will be the length of the bench. And width of the bench we can see here. So what will be the width of the bench? That is about 0.7 to 0.9 meters. That will be the width of the bench. Okay, and we can see here, so height of the bench. So what will be the height of the bench? So height of the bench is about 0.7 meters. Okay, so this will be the height of the bench. Okay, so are you clear? So now I will stop this video. Okay, I think you are all understood this, whatever the topics we are discussed today. Okay, so I will stop now.